Waited through spring and fall to hear silver bells ringing and winter time bringing the happy season of fall. Chestnuts roasting on a golden fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir of folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe will help to bring the season bright. And tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering the silvers to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you.
That was some more Sammy Davis Jr. SDJ with the Christmas song. You're listening to Ashley's Story on BBC Radio Scotland, live from Pacific Quay. We're in the second hour of the show. I'm joined as always by sidekick Silent Paul, and we are talking Christmas. We're talking Christmas dinner. We're talking about what you can't get by without on a Christmas dinner. And I've been trying to think what really I enjoy the most about Christmas dinner, and I think I have to be on side with everybody else. It's potatoes.
Do you enjoy chestnuts? If we track back to what Sammy Davis Jr. was singing about,
I
do. You
do.
like roasted chestnuts. I don't get them.
Get them in a bag. They're very wet, but then if
They're tasteless.
No, they're not. If you roast them with Brussels sprouts and like a little bit of pancetta,
But all you're enjoying there is the pancetta,
yeah, but
and the chestnuts and the sprouts are just filler.
yeah, but if I just ate pancetta, I'd die. So I have to have the filler in order to have a body that keeps functioning.
Oh, this is delicious if you just hide the taste of it with nicer tasting food.
That you've just described cooking. That's just what cooking is. Oh, this is delicious if you disguise the taste of it with other food is essentially what being a chef is. Heston Blumenthal doesn't go in and go, oh, I'm going to make this snail porridge taste as bad as possible. He goes, I'm going to make this snail porridge taste great.
Yeah, but he's like going out of his way to make something ridiculous.
Well, I can't think of another example of a chef. I can't think of a single other chef right now other than Jamie Oliver, and you know I don't say that man's name in my house.
I wouldn't even class him as a chef.
Who's another chef, Paul? Delia Smith.
Ramsay.
Delia Smith doesn't go, oh, here, just eat this duck l'orange without putting l'orange over it.
Yeah, but you could probably make that duck be at least a bit tasty.
I don't know, it just tastes... I think that your argument is flawed, Paul. I think your argument's flawed. Get in touch via text at 0295.
Stop looking out the windows.
I can't help it. There's people in the building and I'm not used to it.
They're allowed to be in the building. You don't own it.
You know how when you see a wee Doug
Do you know
sat at a
what?
window?
I wish in the studio we had steamy windows.
Something Paul wishes we had in here apparently, so that I can't get frightened when I see the people walk past. But I'm not used to seeing folk walk past our windows, so it's always a bit of a fright when I see somebody, and I'm just naturally a curious being. Jim in Netherley says Paul is right on the chestnuts. You don't say, oh, let's make a BLT sandwich, because I absolutely love lettuce. I do love lettuce though, and the best kind of lettuce for a BLT is like a lamb's lettuce, like a really fresh, crispy little leaf thing. Oh, it's delish. Thank you for getting in touch, Jim in Netherley.
I mean, I'll eat a lettuce if it's there, if I have to, but I'm like, this didn't really add anything to the dish.
Have you ever had...
It makes it green and it makes it look a bit more appetising, but it's like...
Have you ever had like a grilled quart
like
of
putting
lettuce with like a
lipstick on a
sauce?
pig? No.
Okay, I hate that expression. It's such a weird thing to say, because why are you putting lipstick on a pig in the first place? They don't
You've
have
obviously
lips.
never been in a pharmaceuticals lab.
Oh no, that's sad. Have you ever had like a grilled lettuce with like a sauce?
No, who's just taking... Let's just get that lettuce and grill it with a sauce. That's, again, you're using the sauce to hide the blandness of the lettuce.
That's food. You're just describing food. You're really annoying me now. I feel like you're winding me up on purpose, and I don't think it's a nice thing to do this close to Jesus' birthday. So stop it. We've got messages about bread sauce, which I'm going to go to. Hello, Ashley and Paul. To make bread sauce have lots of flavour, you bring an onion to the boil and milk. Onion and milk, great. 5 cloves and about 10 peppercorns, and then you leave it to infuse overnight. The next day you strain it, heat it up, stir in some butter and some breadcrumbs. Sprouts and parsnips roasted in olive oil, sage and onion stuffing, mashed tatties and bread, sauce, and that's all you need. Have a lovely festive from Karen in Shetland. Karen in Shetland, that sounds like a
Also,
beast.
Karen, I hope things in Shetland are settled now. They were without power for a while.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so sorry, Karen in Shetland. I hope you're not listening to us. We have had people in power cuts listening to us on a kinetic wind-up radio before, so I hope that isn't the case. Somebody says, who still makes proper gravy? Jamie Oliver apparently still makes proper gravy. Such a waste. So just drain the fat from the roasting tin. It comes with bits of turkey, fabulous flavour. Stir in the sove with flour to thicken, salt and pepper. Hey presto, best gravy ever. Crispy roast tatties, pop them into the roasting tin with the turkey. Done. Simples. And that's from C on Aaron. What's wrong, Paul? You're making a face.
Real gravy just makes me think like that's got like chicken sweat in it.
Pardon?
Because it's all the juices of a chicken, which is essentially its
You
perspiration.
are making everything disgusting today.
But that's what it is.
And I don't know what's got into you.
And then science took something and went, that's disgusting, but the taste's good. Let's take all the disgusting element out of it by replicating it with science.
Mrs. Harris would like this conversation. We're essentially talking about replicators in Star Trek.
I mean, that's essentially what we do, but obviously it's a more involved process. We'll get there eventually in the future, but right now we are basically like, let's just recreate that nice taste without all the disgusting bits.
But you know that in Star Trek, the replicator food was waste that had been resourced.
But it's been atomized, so it's been stripped down to the bare atoms. So it doesn't matter what it is. You're now getting into semantics here. Ashley, I thought as a Star Trek fan, you of all people would know the science behind it.
Did you just decide to come in here and just wind me up as much as you possibly can?
You are asking for it.
We need to put the next song on before I have to look at your face anymore, because I feel like I want to
This
smash
is
it
another
up.
one,
Here's
yeah.
the damned.
With the
That
science,
was me a segue.
they took science with potatoes and they went, let's make it better.
I'm moving
Smash
away
it.
from the mic. Smash it up, the damned.
We've been climbing out for much too long, and now we're gonna dance to a different song.
The Damned with Smash It Up. Other brands of mashed potato that are instant are available. I prefer Idaho.
That's just Ashley's
That's
personal
my personal.
opinion.
I've tried a lot of instant mashes, Paul, because I enjoy the.
Stop.
What? What?
Stop giving airtime to instant potato brands.
Well, I'm not giving it to any specific brand.
You
I'm
just did.
saying
You just said
in
that. You've
general,
tried a lot, and now you're
that's
trying
a
to say
state
one
in
in
America
particular.
that grows potatoes. I'm just saying I'm a fan of
So they must
instant
know
mashed
that. They
potato.
must know their things.
They
then.
know their taters. People from that state, not that company. Their mashed potato brands are available. Paul's giving me that look that's like, stop it. C on Aaron again says, Karen on Shetland is so right. Sage and onion stuffing is brilliant, quite easy to make, and includes breadcrumbs.
See, on Aaron, can I just ask, do you know Karen in Shetland? Because I actually seem to think you might. And then I says, what do you mean? He says, people on islands, they tend to know each other. And I'm like, do you think...
you have island Facebook groups
Do
and
you
stuff?
think Aaron and Shetland are near to each other?
I never said yes to that question. I promise I didn't.
You didn't say no either, though.
Because I just thought they were like friends. Like that wee Disney Pixar film where the two islands fall in love. Paul, is there something wrong with your taste buds, son? Somebody's got in to text, which I think, yes.
They've just evolved.
Apparently they're like really great, according to him. Sai Shed says, hi Ashley and Charlotte
I'm
Paul.
not saying they're great, I'm just saying they're different.
Yeah, Sai Sheds, who likes to text us as Sean Connery, says, hi Ashley and Charlotte Paul. It's just Sean here. Don't mind me. Do you expect me to talk, Mr. Goldfinger? That's what he's texted. Sai Sheds, I love you. And I love when you send us in a wee text from Sean Connery.
At least, sometimes next time, send us what Sean Connery would have for Christmas dinner.
Rest in peace. Jim in Netherley says, are you allowed 2 essentials for Christmas dinner, or should I say 4? Has to be Christmas pudding and custard and Arran smoked cheddar with Arran oat cakes. Ooh, I like the big hefty oat cakes, not a round one. It's like a big thick wedge of crumbly oat cakeness. Hi Ashley and Charlotte Paul. It's just somebody's got in to text, which I think, yes.
They've just evolved.
Apparently they're like really great, according to him. Sai Shed says, hi Ashley and Charlotte Paul.
I'm not saying they're great, I'm just saying they're different.
Yeah, Sai Sheds, who likes to text us as Sean Connery, says, hi Ashley and Charlotte Paul. It's just Sean here. Don't mind me. Do you expect me to talk, Mr. Goldfinger? That's what he's texted. Sai Sheds, I love you. And I love when you send us in a wee text from Sean Connery.
At least, sometimes next time, send us what Sean Connery would have for Christmas dinner.
Rest in peace. Jim in Netherley says, are you allowed 2 essentials for Christmas dinner, or should I say 4? Has to be Christmas pudding and custard and Arran smoked cheddar with Arran oat cakes. Ooh, I like the big hefty oat cakes, not a round one. It's like a big thick wedge of crumbly oat cakeness. Have you ever seen them?
I like them thin.
I'd like a big doorstop.
Would you about to say something else?
I like a big oat cake. That's what I was going to say. I don't know what you're talking about. Here's Taylor Dayworth, Tell It to My Heart. Play the song.
Likes them thick.
Emotion overload.
On this week's installment, when he's not pulling off the dead, this wisecracking and cocky actor likes to go up to windows to pick a Jew and then gets wild in a van with two guys and a girl and he wrecks them. Here's the proposal. I wish we could get rid of Ryan Reynolds on tonight's rather salty Hollywood Swingers.
That professional introduction means it's time for our favourite segment of the show, Hollywood Swingers, where we celebrate those Hollywood stars who have swung into music. This week, it's titan of industry, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, tell me about him, Paul.
Ryan Rodney Reynolds.
Hate his name.
Born 23rd of October 1976. It was a Saturday. It was also the same day that Cat Daly was born, just for any trivia. He was born in Vancouver, Canada, being the youngest of four sons to mother Tamara and father James, who was a former Royal Canadian Mounted Policeman.
Oh, I like that programme about them.
Yeah, Due North.
Great
Due
show.
South, was it Due North?
I don't know, he had a hat and a
He liked
horse.
to lick things and for clues.
Did he?
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Used to
where I
pick
got
up,
that from.
He'd pick up like cigarettes and lick it and go there 3 blocks down the road.
Very cool.
Reynolds originally became interested in acting in high school, where one of his fellow attendees was Dawson's Creek star Joshua Jack.
My favourite Dawson's Creek alumni.
Pacey.
So handsome.
But Reynolds reportedly flunked his high school drama class during his time studying. I'm not surprised. It didn't seem to deter him, though, as Reynolds starred in a number of Canadian productions as a youngster, including starring in a teen soap opera called Hillside when he was 15. But he then became disillusioned with the profession and he quit acting. And he kept his job at a local Safeway supermarket. To this day, despite all the actor's successful ventures, he has a LinkedIn page that still lists his time as a forklift driver on his CV.
How witty and down to earth he
Isn't
is.
he? Yeah. However, the allure of the screen was too much, and Reynolds moved to LA, where he would have small supporting roles in the likes of The X-Files and the pilot television movie of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Where,
Okay.
in a common occurrence, as you will find out through his life, he had a romantic dalliance with Sabrina herself, Melissa Joan Hart.
Oh, wow.
He's had a few famous girlfriends. Like, he went out with Alanis Morissette for a long time. He was married to Scarlett Johansson. He's married to Blake Lively.
Oh, cool.
He went out with Sandra Bullock.
Did he?
Yeah,
Good for him.
never lasted. It was in 1998, as a fresh-faced 21-year-old, that Reynolds got his first breakthrough role as a wisecracking, cocky jokester in the sitcom Two Guys and a Girl.
Seen it.
Completely different to what you think it might be.
It's two guys, a girl, in a pizza shop.
Yeah, they changed the name of it like 2 seasons ago. So they just call it that now.
Right, okay.
Now, his first major film breakthrough was in the 2002 art house classic National Lampoon's Van Wilder, where Reynolds played a wisecracking, cocky university slacker,
Yeah.
which garnered praise such as short on laughs. But it made back its budget 7-fold. Now, as well as small supporting roles in intellectual fare like The In-Laws and Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, Reynolds also branched out and he tried something different. As he starred in 2004's Blade Trinity as a wisecracking, cocky vampire hunter who, get this for a twist, used to be a vampire himself.
Oh, okay.
Really stretching his acting chops there. 2005, Reynolds waved the flag for originality as he starred in a remake of the Amityville Horror, with critics lauding it as a so-so remake. And he even had the real-life person it was based on praise it as drivel. It made over 5 times its budget, though.
So he makes money. What you're saying here is it's nonsense and it's rubbish, but he makes money.
Yeah.
Good for him.
The same year, the actor starred as a wisecracking, cocky waiter in Waiting, as well as playing the lead in the comedy Just Friends, as a wisecracking, cocky record producer who, in a real twist, used to be fat and also not cocky nor wisecracking. And it had a high audience approval score of 42%.
A lot of his films involved people doing bad stuff to food, including Waiting and Party Liaison.
Waiting and Van Wilder do really bad things to food. Do
Made
not
me-
watch it if you've eaten your dinner.
But as a kid, when I saw that, it gave me proper fear of like the industry, of the service industry.
It's vile.
Yeah.
If you watch the film Waiting, you will never want to eat in a restaurant again.
No.
Now, following wisecracking and cocky roles in Smoking Aces, Definitely Maybe and Adventureland, Reynolds moved into another level in 2009 as he pioneered the new acting technique of wisecracking and cockiness in both X-Men Origins Wolverine, which critics said was inescapably redundant, and in The Proposal, where he turned which critics said a plot that was already old when Tracy and Hepburn were trying it out, into 317 million at the box office.
People liked the proposal. It was Sandra Bullock, it was Betty White. They all went to like Alaska or Canada or something. He was the American, she was the Canadian. And
No, it was the other way around.
no, she was the Canadian.
She goes to his family.
Yes, but she was going to be sent away from America for being Canadian
right,
because she
right.
didn't have a green card, and he had to marry her so
Oh,
that
he
she
came
could get.
from like Maine or something.
Yeah,
one
but
of those places.
It was
that they
it was a
fish.
place where it was very sunny all the time, which is making me think it was Alaska because it has shorter night times.
Right, okay.
It was a bad film. My mother loves it, which is how you know it's a terrible film because she only likes drivel.
2011 saw the actor rocket in popularity with his adaptation of the DC superhero Green Lantern as a wisecracking, cocky test pilot who gets powers from an alien ring. And he managed to turn a 200 million budget, excluding marketing, into a 219 million box office take with what was called a joyless amalgamation of expository dialogue.
But
And
it
this-
did well.
No, it made 19 million, and that's not including, it didn't make money.
Okay.
In the same years, The Change Up, Ryan Reynolds plays a wisecracking, cocky bachelor.
Just get to the point. Just get to the point. What does he do next? Because if we go through every film where he plays a wisecracking something, I will end up just leaving the room.
There is a lot of that. Unfortunately, he starred in Deadpool, suddenly, for some reason, became really popular.
Well, Deadpool's one of those interesting things where they made a taster for it, essentially, like a small snippet of the film, to show to
didn't
execs.
want to make it. Then
But that's how it works in Hollywood.
they
Like
leaked it.
they leaked it allegedly, and it kind of became that first time where power to the people became how films were made because people online.
But he still was just Ryan Reynolds.
He was still just Ryan Reynolds, but people online were like, this is amazing, we love it. How do we get more of that? We want to see that. We want to see a superhero who swears and says bad words and makes dirty jokes. We want to see that. We don't want to see the guy with the clean cut hair and the chiseled chin flying through space. We want to see the bad guy with the melted face. And I think that was interesting that he made it up to... Because if we've
So you
learned
think
anything, if we've learned anything from Ryan Reynolds' career, people want to spend money on whatever it is he's making. And he proved that with Deadpool.
Oh, there you are. And he continues to make such classics as Free Guy,
That was a really bad film.
Red Notice with The Rock and Gal Gadot.
Not seen that.
I mean, he also somehow found the secret formula to making money. He made
Makes
gin.
viral videos.
Makes viral videos.
Essentially, if you don't know what Ryan Reynolds does, he owns a PR company that PRs everything he does. So he is a genius at PR.
He's constantly selling himself and then selling the businesses that sell him.
And then paying himself to sell himself.
Yep.
So he's just creating this circle of wealth. We're all very jealous of him.
Yeah. With his cocky and wisecracking attitude.
I don't get the flavour of it. I don't understand why there is a certain specific type of like alpha man who looks at him and goes, oh yeah, I
but it's
love
just-
Ryan
It
Reynolds.
just seems to have been in the last 3 or 4 years, though, that he has become probably one of the most famous and most powerful people in Hollywood. And I don't understand it because all these films are rubbish. He's not even made anything that's made like $1 billion. There's many more people out there.
He's no Julie Andrews.
No. And then everybody loved him again because he somehow went, I'm going to make Deadpool 3, but guess what? Hugh Jackman's coming back as the Wolverine for the 10th time.
But then let's just, because we have an ick about Ryan Reynolds. It's nothing he's really done. There's just something about him that gives me and Paul the ick.
He's boring and bland and rubbish.
But there is something to be said of what he's done for Wrexham and that town and the football.
Yeah, but he did it to
and-
make a documentary. I still don't really think he cares.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter if he cares or not. He still did a good thing. It's like Santa probably doesn't care about children, but he still brings them toys.
Let's go back. Hey, don't say that about Santa. He cares
Oh,
about all the children.
Sure thing.
Except you.
No, that's true.
Now, to tonight's fittingly festive song, starring in 2022's Netflix movie Spirited. I lasted 10 minutes of it, had to turn it off. He plays a wisecracking,
Oh, I hate
cocky
you.
media consultant alongside that other bastion of quality, Will Ferrell. Reynolds makes what may be his filmic singing debut, and whilst he's certainly bringing back wisecracking and cockiness, we have to ask, is he also bringing back Christmas?
Look, real trees are trending downward. Your sales continue slipping. They destroyed your bottom lines with plastic pines in same-day shipping. Well, you've got the better product. But if you want to win, you gotta study human nature. All those interested? Lean in. People are one. Lazy. We only care about ourselves. Your competition knows this, so their crap flies off the shelves. But we're also too desperate to feel good, smart, and right. And that's what you have to harness if you wanna win this fight. See, what you're really selling is the way things ought to be. So your pitch becomes compelling, selling more than just a tree. It's a symbol of your values, it's your ethics and your cause. You can't either be fake like the trees they make or take a stand for Santa Claus. We're bringing back Christmas. We're bringing back cheer. We're bringing back cozy nights, those twinkly lights, the glow of yesteryear. Now it's some slight manipulation, but it's what we've gotta do. See, we need some confrontation, or your message won't get through. We're bringing back decency. We're bringing back Christmas, and that means the piney scent of a real authentic tree. Oh, it would be sure simple to boost your market share. We'd rebrand you as nostalgic. Tell your customers you care, but the world is what? Tribal. So if you want your sales to soar, it's not enough for folks to love you. They gotta hate your rivals more. As an expert, my advice is feed that hate, 'cause hate is strong. Folks will gladly pay your prices to prove those Christmas killers wrong. That we lost. Give me some peace on earth, a virgin birth, and grandpa getting sauced. Every Facebook loving boomer wants to fight a culture war. So tell your core consumer what the hell they're fighting for. We're bringing back Christmas, and it's not coming back with some manufactured tree. I'm talking a living tree in your living room. As I reach up to place the angel on top, I look out my window and I see my neighbor, Doug, across the street, snapping together his artificial tree. Easy peasy, poor, lazy, deplorable Doug, who cares more about convenience than the happiness and respect of his town, of his country, of our sacred holiday. I'm talking nativities and sweet baby cheese, fat honey hams, Mariah Carey jams, Feliz Navidad and the birth of our God! We're bringing back Christmas! We're bringing back Christmas! Plus a ton of cash from some good old-fashioned trees! We're bringing back Christmas!
That was Ryan Reynolds featuring the Spirited Ensemble with We're Bringing Back Christmas. He was our Hollywood swinger. Here in the Ashley Story Show, we rate our Hollywood swingers on a scale of 1 to 100 Kenny Rogers roasters. 1 being the worst, 100 being the best. Kenny Rogers being the original and the greatest Hollywood swinger. Paul, I'm going to come to you first for your score for Ryan Reynolds. I want you to take your bias away. I want you to take your inherent dislike of Ryan Reynolds, given that he's just a mediocre man who's done very well, and really focus on that song. Did you like it? Did you hate it?
No, he even managed to bring his cockiness and wisecracking into the song.
Yeah.
I hate everything he does is exactly the same. I hate him. Again, this is
so
only
much
my
energy.
This is only my
Dial
personal
that in,
opinion.
Paul.
No, I think he's done a lot of damage to just
The film
the
industry.
world.
What? Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, Paul's throwing shade at Ryan Reynolds there. He's apparently done a lot of damage to the world. How many Kenny Rogers roasters do you give him?
1.
Ooh! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, salt has been thrown at bay. One Kenny Roger roaster from Paul to Ryan Reynolds. I thought
He's
it was
so boring. Even his films are so boring. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk about it. His films are so boring.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even do a Swinger intro for him.
No, we did struggle with all of the Swinger info, and the fact that every film you look at is essentially the same apart from Amityville Horror.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. They're all the same. I thought it was a paltry sort of like rubbish version of the Muppets Christmas Carol. It had that energy. Yep. So the song was all right. It wasn't the Muppets Christmas Carol. It was kind of like derivative of it. I think that his singing, it's classic sort of Red Buttons, cheeky chappy in a musical singing.
Pop
I think
culture
it's a
reference.
Oh, I didn't listen to the lyrics. When he talks, my brain just really struggles to focus on what he's saying because all I can hear is like that thing with Snoopy where it's like blah, 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 blah. I'm going to give him 45 Kenny Rogers roasters. It was inoffensive.
That's very kind.
It was inoffensive, and I feel like your dislike of Ryan Reynolds is so strong that I need to balance it out, and we have to because BBC, non-biased, is a mandate here.
I'm just talking personally. This is not the BBC's view.
Katie says, yes, Ryan Reynolds is a walking ick. I'm glad we're not alone. Alan Marks says Ryan Reynolds 25 Kenny Rogers roasters. Thank you so much, Alan Marks, for getting in touch. Get in touch with us via text 80295 and let us know what you thought of Ryan Reynolds' performance. Stuart's been in touch and says, good evening, Ashley and Silent Paul. I've watched Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2 and he was brilliant. Then he takes control of Wrexham Football Club. The guy put his money where his mouth is. As for his singing, I'll give him 10 Kenny Rogers roasters as his singing sounds like the Grinch crossed with Dick Van Dyke. Cheers, Stuart from Surrey Dundonald. I think
Yeah, but he made money from putting that money in immediately by making
I will not
big television series from it.
That's white man in a van energy being like, oh well, you can't get praised for doing anything good if you got attention or money for it. That's an icky way of you're giving me the ick now.
You're doing it.
There's a lot of reasons to not like Ryan Reynolds, but because he got attention for doing something good isn't a good enough reason to dislike him. I dislike him because his head frightens me. Here's Luther Vandross and Never Too Much.
There's not a minute, hour, day or night that I don't love you. You're at the top of my list cause I'm always thinking of you. I still remember in the days when I was scared to touch you, how I spent my day dreaming, planning how to say I love you. You must have known that I had feelings deep enough to swim in. That's when you opened up your heart and you told me to come in. Oh my love, 1,000 kisses from you is never too much. I just don't wanna stop. Oh my love, 1,000,000 days in your arms is never too much. I just don't wanna stop. Too much, never too much, never too much, never too much. Woke up today, looked at your picture just to get me started. I called you up, but you weren't there, and I was broken hearted. Hung up the phone, can't be too late. The boss is so demanding. Opened the door up, and to my surprise, there you were standing. Well, who needs to go to work to hustle for another dollar? I'd rather be with you, cause you make my heart scream and holler. Love is a gamble, and I'm so glad
That was Luther Vandross with Never Too Much. Craig and Sharon in Rutherglen says, wow, did Ryan Reynolds poop in Paul's mince? Season of goodwill and all that. Why not spread the love a bit? If he's not for you, just ignore him. Well, we can't really do that because that would defeat the purpose of Hollywood Swingers, where we discuss somebody.
Also, you can't ignore him because he's everywhere.
Share some
Award
singing you
ceremonies
absolutely
everywhere.
love. Well, again, it would defeat the purpose of Hollywood Swingers if we just shared people we love. It has to be people that we sometimes don't like so that we can have moments like this. Or maybe you're just jealous because he doesn't have a flat bum, Paul. Is that what it is? Is it jealousy about his derriere? Paul's saying no.
I've never really taken much attention.
Craig and Sharon say not a great song, but he did okay with it. So 60 Kenny Rogers Roasters. Thank you so much for getting into what have you looking at? People.
It's not me, this is an email.
Cameron's been in touch and says, good evening, Ashley and Paul. Sorry, been away so long. Love Ryan Reynolds. He's a great sense of humour. That said, I didn't like the song. I will give him 20 Kenny Rogers Roasters for that effort. Sad to say the least. Also, got a friend's daughter who's a flight attendant on a Canadian airline. Met Hayden Christensen. Okay. Otherwise known as Anakin Skywalker. What? Anakin Skywalker?
Yeah, he played Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader, spoiler alert, in the Star Wars prequels.
Oh, I've never seen them. He's the wee boy in the Speed Racer?
No, he was in the second film when they got rid of the wee boy.
Oh, that's the only one I
made him
saw.
grow up.
Okay. Otherwise known as Anakin Skywalker, on a flight the other day. Oh, guess he was heading home
He
for
was
Christmas.
married to, is it Rachel Bilson?
Rachel Bilson, who's that?
Oh, you know her face.
I probably will know her face, but I don't remember her name. Anyway, Cameron, thank you so much for getting in touch. And that's a beautiful picture. I didn't understand why there was a picture of people in an airplane cabin on my screen when I looked up. Oh, he was married to Summer from the OC.
There you go.
But then, she's in one of my favourite TV programmes, Heart of Dixie, about a lady who's a very trained surgeon, but then she moves to Dixie, where she becomes a small town doctor because that's where her birth dad lived. Love that show. Yes. Oh, I'm a big fan of hers. Anyway, continue. I think that everybody listening just went, oh, that's the kind of thing she likes.
Yeah.
Yes. We've got a wee message here from Jane Jones, who I'm looking for what she said. She said, never heard of Ryan Reynolds, but this was truly grim. Too cocky, too much wisecracking, 5 Kenny Rogers Roasters, and
Thanks.
that's being kind. Not a bad song. Sammy Davis Jr. would have done a good job of that. Jane Jones, you're not wrong. Right. When you're at Christmas dinner, hold on, first things first, get in touch via text at 0295. Let us know what you thought of Ryan Reynolds' performance, and also, why do you think Paul's so jealous of him? Also, let us know what you're eating for Christmas dinner. Are you just going to pick a wee bit, or are you hungry like a wolf? Here's Duran Duran. That was Duran Duran and Hungry Like the Wolf. Martin Orkney says, Ryan Reynolds. I found this just about the same as everything else I've experienced with Ryan Reynolds. Not objectionable, it's just a bit meh. Not the worst, but not very memorable. It just about sells it, but I've still got the receipt in hand. 55 Kenny Rogers roasters from Martin and Orkney. And I think that's a fair shout from Martin and Orkney. Far more of a fair shout than our friend Paul, who is deeply jealous of Ryan Reynolds. I don't know why. What's going on, Paul? Do you want to dig into this a wee bit deeper?
There's nothing. It's nothing personal. I just really dislike. I just don't like him.
The Rat Man says that was Keith. 5 out of 100. So he doesn't like Ryan Reynolds much either. And Simon says, love the wisecracking and cocky Hollywood swinger song. Great. I will give him 100 Kennys from Simon.
See, I can't. I like watching movies, but the more and more his movies are popular and make money, they just keep making all the films like that.
All right, calm down, baby Jane. You're not going to like feed him a rat or something just because you're jealous of his
It's
great
not
career.
just him. There are other people that are guilty of it.
Okay. Get in touch via text 80295. Let us know your scores for Ryan Reynolds.
I hate you.
It's coming up for 12 o'clock and there will be the midnight
Just play the
news.
song.
But
Just
before
get
then, here's
moving, play
Diana
the
Ross and
song.
Chain Reaction.
Play the song.
Press the button.